does your map really need to be that complex? Because sometimes it might be tempting to add all these extra details in your map, add 5 or even 10 personas for perfect clarity, or maybe even come up with some intricate ways of visualizing that the journey repeats itself cycle after cycle. There may be plenty of cases. But do you really need all these details on one map? Hello, 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 everyone. Let me quickly share my presentation. Yes, my name is Julia, and I'm a customer success agent at UXPressia, but also sometimes I am a speaker at such events just like today. So today we are going to talk about how to map complex and nonlinear journeys. But before we start, I would like to ask you again a question, maybe too many questions at the beginning, but please share your opinion. What do you think? What makes a customer journey map complex to your mind? Maybe it's like the number of stages and sections in the map, or maybe you think that the map is complex if several personas are covered, or maybe you think it's more about the structure of the case that you'd like to visualize. So please share your thoughts on that. We'll give you a couple of seconds to share what do you think. I see that some people consider several interdependencies with other actors. Okay, that definitely would make a journey complex. Multiple personas. Yes. User journey across channels. Different channels. Lots of touch points, agree completely. Diverging journeys, definitely, we'll talk about that. Multiple people stages. So yeah, a lot of different cases, non-linearity, lots of personas. I agree with all of you, actually. Thanks a lot. Thank you for sharing. And that's true. A customer journey map can be complex due to any of these factors, or sometimes even the combination of several factors. I have the example on the slide to visualize that. So we have two maps here. They're completely different. So one is built offline with sticky notes. It's actually, it seemed to have a lot of details in there. So there are a lot of sticky notes. They're all of different color. So the map obviously is quite complex. On the right side, we see the digital version of the map with multiple personas, a lot of stages. It's quite big. So this map also can be called complex. So to sum it all up, map is complex when it's hard to read, comprehend, and work with it, right? Basically, such map fails to serve its purpose of bringing clarity. The chances are that those who read your map later, will it be your team members or stakeholders or anyone else you will share your map with, they will be hesitant to even delve into its content. So in this case, of course, this goal of creating the shared understanding of customer journey will not be achieved as well. Sometimes the customer journey may turn out to be complex due to the complexity and complex business nature, right? And in this case, the journey map that visualize such journey, which is complex, will also inevitably become hard to digest. So what to do in all these cases? And well, this is actually what we are going to talk about today. You can see our plan. We actually split the talk into the use cases that we selected for today's session. First of all, we are going to talk about the case when your map is a part of a bigger map hierarchy. Then we'll talk about the cases when the stage of the big complex map is a separate journey itself. And also take a look at the case when the stage of the map corresponds to multiple maps at a time. Also, we will cover the case when you need to keep all the details on the map, but it becomes really huge and non-digestible at all. And of course, at the end of the session, we'll dedicate some time to discussing non-linear processes and how to visualize those. At the end of today's session, traditionally, we'll have Q&A session. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in chat and we'll cover them at the very end. Okay, so with that, let's start. Before thinking how to visualize complex journey and how to manage complex journeys, we advise to ask yourself, so that you can ask yourself, one question: does your map really need to be that complex? Because sometimes it might be tempting to add all these extra details in your map, add 5 or even 10 personas for perfect clarity, or maybe even come up with some intricate ways of visualizing that the journey repeats itself cycle after cycle. There may be plenty of cases. But do you really need all these details on one map? If your answer is yes, then let's take a look at the first case that we have here. And that is when your map is a part of a bigger map hierarchy. So what do we mean by that? Imagine that your organization are mapping several mapping projects at a time, right? The chances are that in this case, these projects will be related to each other in some way. For example, you might have a bunch of strategic maps and some maps that dive into the details of these strategic maps, with the specific stages or on the specific interactions of this higher level map. So how to visualize that? Actually, at UXPressia, well, what you can do, you can visualize that using the hierarchy of maps. So when you build a map that is a part of a bigger hierarchy, it makes sense to visualize which place this map takes within this hierarchy, right? This will help you to come up with the needed level of details for your map. And also it will aid in determining how this document is related to other known processes within the organization. So let me show you how we deal with this at UXPressia. I'll switch my screen to the platform right now. For that purpose, we have a specific view that is called design view. As you can see, it contains on the screen, you see 3 levels: ecosystem level, strategic level, and tactical level. So on the ecosystem level, we placed the map, investment account holder map, for global areas. So we took regions, geographical areas as a criteria here. So this map is a super high level map, and it's located on the top. It covers just the highlights of all journeys. Then we see strategic level map, and here the same journey is we see like regional maps here. So it's investment account holder for Latin America, investment account holder for EMEA region, and the same investment account holder for Asia Pacific region. So we splitted this map and visualized the differences between different regions. And on the last level here, we see, well, tactical level, and this is the investment account opening journey. This is a part of this higher level map. So we placed these documents in order of the priority, in order of the level of detail. And then we just show the connections using these arrows easily. All these maps are added as links. So if you plan to invite someone and share or present this view to someone, you'll be able to quickly open it up in a separate tab and read more about the specific journey. So this is how to deal with case when the map is a part of a bigger hierarchy. Now let's move to the next case. And that is when each stage of your big complex map is a separate journey map itself. So, so let's imagine that you have the complex journey, big complex journey, but in this journey, every stage is a map. So how to visualize that? Of course, you can build like the journey that is 50 feet long, and when you print it out, and especially if you plan to pass it through several departments, well, this will be a hell. And also, to be honest, keeping such a big map in a digital version is also far from being convenient. So how to visualize that? One of the cases, one of the options you can do in such case is to split your big high-level map into stages and map out the stages in a separate document. Let's take a look at this example that you can see on the slide. So this is the example of stages for a customer journey for a software solution provider. What we did here, we built a master map with 3 higher level stages here: awareness, consideration, and decision and post-purchase. And also so this is like the higher level bird's eye view map that gives us the view of the entire journey, right? Next, what we do, we build every single stage as a map in a separate document. So we will have a map called awareness that covers the awareness stage in more details, consideration as a separate document, and decision and post-purchase as a separate document. This way, we'll be able not to avoid this overwhelming one high-level map with all this information. And so, yeah, we can dive deeper into the details, building separate documents for every single part of the process. Well, in this case, for stages. And actually, you can drill down into the stages even deeper and deeper. For example, we took awareness stage and build it out as a separate document. We can also take the problem and recognition, which was a sub-stage, and also map it out as a separate document, and maybe then drill down into the next stage, identifying and performance gap, and so on. So this way you'll have different journeys that covers the details of the specific processes, in this case, stages. There is no best practice, I don't know. We usually advise to keep these like levels up to 4. Up to 4 levels is optimal. Diving deeper might be, in some cases, not so convenient, because you'll get too many maps. But again, it depends on the case. And now, when you build all these documents and dive into different level of details, now it's time to connect them all together so that those who read your map later can get a full picture of what's going on, which documents are related to which documents. Okay, so now again, I'd like to show you how we deal with that. So again, I'm switching to UXPressia, and here is the example of the map. We have bike purchaser journey, and this is a higher level map, a master map. So we see the stages: aware, purchase, delivery, use, and support. And we decided, in order to, as I said earlier, to avoid this overwhelming this master map with many details, to map out every single stage in a separate document as a separate map. So what we do, how to connect it now? We've added this stage maps section with these nice looking previews of the maps per stage, these stage level maps that we've built. And now what we do, we can simply add the link. So I've had it added already. I will unlink it and show you how to do this. So basically, you just click on this preview, add a link, just a URL link, nothing extreme. And then those who read the map will be able to click and open it up in a separate document and dive into the details of this map. This is one way how you can do this. Another way is by using UXPressia functionality that we have here. So right here in the configure stage menu, you can link the needed map right to this stage. So I'm selecting the map. This is a purchase journey. And now, as you can see, once I hover over the stage, we see that there is a linked map, and I can open it up and get acquainted with what's going on in this purchase stage of our journey. So yeah, that is how you can connect different maps all together. Now let's move to the next use case that we have here, and that is a slightly different case when each stage of the map corresponds to multiple maps. So in the previous example, we attached one map to one stage, and here we need to attach like multiple maps. Visualize there are multiple documents related to the specific stage. How to do that? If for some reason you prefer to avoid adding multiple sub-stages to your map, it makes sense to use this process and channel section that we have that allows to add different document links to different maps, just like you can see on the screen. So this is the example of the stage credit check and verification for that visualizes mortgage journey, mortgage process. And as you can see, there is no substages within this stage. But what we did, we've added the process and channel section and connected needed maps right here as links. So again, those who read the map can click on the link and open up the needed detail, the needed journey in a separate document. Let me quickly show you how to do that. So again, I'm opening up the same bike purchaser journey, but now I need this process and channel section. So here, instead of adding this icon, generic icon, I had to maps and personas and select the needed map that, well, actually dive into some details. As you can see, it's just an example. I added a random map. So as you can see, it's added as a link, and I can open it up in a separate tab and read it again, all the needed details, get acquainted with it. So this is how to attach multiple documents to one stage. Okay, let's move to the next part. And this is the next case that we have here, and that is when you need to keep everything on one map, but it becomes really huge. So sometimes you need to, you cannot like map out certain part in a separate document. You need to keep it all in one document, but it turns out really big. It's hard to digest, it's hard to read, to focus on, and what to do in this case. So in these cases, we advise to split this big, large journey into the smaller chunks. For example, you can build them depending on the audience that you plan to share the map with. I will show you how to build a view for instance, support team. So let me switch to the platform. So we have a map. I'll show it to you in a presentation mode so that you can see that it's quite big indeed. So you see it does not have many stages, just 3, but it has a lot of sections here. So it's quite big and complex. So let's imagine that I would like to share this map with support team, but obviously they don't need to see like everything here, okay? They need to see just the part that is related to their work. So how to do that? At UXPressia, we have a custom views feature that allows you to create specific views for your team or for any purpose, actually. So I will create the view. Just a sec, I'll add support. Support team view. And now I will hide the sections that our support team doesn't need. So they don't need to see, or even stages, or even sub-stages. So you can select what you will leave in this view. I save the view. The map has shrunk, as you can see, to a more compact size. And now it's much easier to absorb this part of the map that is relevant to the specific needs. And what I do next, I can share this view with my team via direct access and select the view that this link will lead to, support team view. So yeah, that is how you can deal with that. Another thing that might be really helpful, sometimes if you build multi-persona maps, just like this example, it includes multiple personas in one map. It might be quite hard to focus on all personas when a lot of personas experiences a lot of swim lanes, so it's just a bit messy. So to read such map, you better focus on one persona at a time, right? So for that, you can also use views. For instance, I'll create a view for Zachary, our persona, this one, and we'll hide all other personas from the view, save the view, and as you can see, we see just the Zachary's experience and the lanes that are relevant for all personas. Yeah, as simple as that. If you prefer not to create views per personas, because sometimes you can have different views for different purposes and you'll have a lot of these views, but you can also filter your map based on personas. Right here on the left side in this personas tab, you can simply hide unnecessary personas from the view, and again you'll get the same result, and we see just Zachary's experience right now. So this is something that is related to like splitting your map into views. Another thing, so instead of sometimes you might need to split your view not based on the audience you plan to share this view with, but also based on the purpose. So in this case, we advise to use this approach offered by Forrester. And this is like splitting your map in based on the view levels. So where there is overarching level, view level that covers the entire journey, program view level, and this one focuses on the specific work package. And then brief view level, this focuses on the tasks within the specific work package. So this is just another way of, another approach on how you can split your map into views. So we actually got to this cherry on top of today's session, which is mapping the processes that are non-linear. Of course, in the perfect world, our customers go through their journeys in a straight, predictable manner, right? But, well, the reality is a bit harsh, and usually our personas, they can these non-linear journey maps, they can include different loops, parallel paths. Customer can skip stages or maybe revisit previous stages, or deciding, for example, to change their route from one to another because of their changed needs or changed behavior, and many other options. So how to map it all? Well, we will talk about several cases. Well, this is actually the slide that shows us that the linear journey is what we want, and this is what we get. But it's okay. So how to deal with this? First of all, I'd like to show you how to deal with processes that are non-linear within this stage. So let's imagine that our persona goes through non-linear stages. Let's take a look at this slide. We have two examples, two parts, two stages actually from customer journey. On the left side, we see that here the car insurer is going through a non-linear research stage. So we know here that the first our persona is checking the website, then he Googles something, then he check the websites again, then he's talking to colleagues, then he reviews websites, and so on. So we know that this process is non-linear. And we showed it using this graph. This is the process and channel section. We already saw it today. And this graph allows those who read the map a quickly grasp that the process is non-linear, it's time-based, and we see that we even see the channels our persona is using while going through this stage. Another way that this can happen. So on this right side of the slide, you see we have another journey, and this is a website customer who's going through a support stage, and we see that our persona is using phone and then support request. And again, the process is ongoing. So it means that the actions repeat itself cycle after cycle. So they again use phone and submit request. And we know that our persona is spending on this stage for 10, 20 minutes. So we show that the process is non-linear using, again, this graph, this cyclic graph that visualizes this. So this is how you can do it within the stage. Next example of nonlinear journey would be if persona revisits some previous stages. And that is actually something that is happening quite frequently, because our personas, our customers, they might want to reconsider their choice at some point of their journey and get back to checking the website, checking the reviews, right? So this can happen. So how to visualize that? For that, let me switch to the tool. And yeah, let's see what we have here. This is the customer journey map for a manufacturing solution provider. We see our persona, Yen. He's COO in this manufacturing firm. And what we know about this journey? We know that he's he needs to find an advanced manufacturing solution. So he researches and evaluates various providers, including us. And after the engagement and proposal review, he revisits the consideration stage to compare solutions more thoroughly. So how to visualize that on the map? Here, as you can see, we did that with process section. So we used text and graphs to show that at some point, at certain stages of his journey, our persona Yan is going back. So he repeats the actions. As you can see right here in the consideration stage, we showed that the process is ongoing with a graph and provided the details that after the initial research, Yan evaluates company's solution, comparing them with competitors, and attends a webinar. And then after reconsideration, he is ready to move to different stage, to the next stage. So this is the one way how you can show it. Another one would be to use persona section. So we have such section type at UXPressia. It allows to visualize some flows of actions within your customer's journey. So here, again, it's the same journey. On the consideration stage, we see that our persona is going through the he's evaluating solutions, he thinks, then he moves to proposal evaluation. And here we see that he reviews the proposal, but has concerns about the cost. So again, we show his concern that he's jumping back to the previous stage using these arrows. It's already added here. So this is how you can visualize this jump back. And then once he's ready with the decision, he's going right to the negotiation stage. And again, we show it using these directional arrows here. So yeah, this is how you can show this revisit the previous stage case in the platform. Okay, now let's move to the next part, and that is when persona at some point follows different paths. So our personas during their journey might have a like points, so-called decision points, where their paths may go in a different ways, but later they may even converge or diverge once again. So how to visualize such complex case? Again, I'm back to UXPressia, and here we do see the following case. So here it's another map. It's a cloud-based business management software. So we're mapping journey of Emma, our persona, who's a small business owner. And she's here to find integrated business management software. We know that after initial research and engagement, her journey branches into two paths. Where one, she explores the software's financial management features. This is one scenario, how she goes. And other, she's delving into the project management features of what we offer her, right? So this is the B scenario, branch B. We call it here. So Emma evaluates both aspects, and then she takes the informed decision and purchase the software. So let's see how we visualize it on the map. As you can see, this map is splitted. We see some common stages that are common for Emma and are relevant for both scenarios. We see aware stage, research and consideration, where she explores various providers, including us. Then initial engagement, where she requests a demo and contacts us. And then we see this branching point. So here, customer expresses interest in two aspects of our tool. Branch A, we visualize it on the top of the map. And what we did here, so instead of overwhelming this map with the details of this scenario A, this would also make the whole journey quite hard to comprehend. We map it out as in a separate document. We know how to do this already, and just added a link leading to this scenario and explained it in text. So here Emma receives detailed information and tailored demonstration of the financial aspects of the tool. And on the bottom of the map, this is the B scenario, the branch B. And again, we did the same thing. So we mapped it out, this scenario, in a separate document, and simply added this document as a link here. And here Emma explores the project management tools. So this is the way how you can visualize several scenarios at a time without overwhelming the original document with all these details. And then at the last stage, decision and purchase, we see that these two paths diverge, and we see that after evaluating these aspects, Emma decides on the overall value and proceeds with the purchase. So this is just another way how you can visualize this complex case in the platform. So yeah, that actually brings me to the end of today's session. Let's summarize what we talked about today. So yes, we talked about complex journey maps and that they can be complex because of many reasons. We also talked about different approaches, how you can actually handle such maps, and took 5 cases, complex journeys, where we shared some tips how to visualize, how to handle these complex cases, complex journeys. I really hope that today's session was useful for you. And yeah, now I think we are ready to move to the Q&A part. Veronica, how do you think?
Yes, I'm here. I had struggles with unmuting myself. Okay, thank you so much, Julia. Thank you for the presentation, and thank you for showing us, well, how we can, organize our maps. It is the time for the Q&A session, so grab your questions. Send your questions to the chat if you have them. And well, if you have some, specific cases that you want to ask about, feel free to do that in the chat. Meanwhile, I noticed at the very beginning when Julia was talking about, when Julia was asking you about your ideas on what makes the journey map complex, many of you spoke about multiple personas on one map. And this is actually a great point here, because that was probably in December when we held an event dedicated to multiple personas. And now you can see the link to the chat. You can go ahead and watch the event. I believe it will help you answer many questions that you have. And if you have more questions about multiple personas, feel free to drop them down in the comments on YouTube. We will be happy to prepare something for you in the future to address your questions. And that's not it. Before the Q&A, also, I would like to mention that if you want to learn more about the UXPressia features that might help you build complex or nonlinear journeys, you can book a free 15-minute call with our team via the link in the chat. And if you already build maps, and whether they are complex or not, and you don't want to transfer them to a different tool because you think it's impossible, or maybe that's too difficult, or the whole idea is overwhelming, no worries, our team will help you. So now I guess we can move on to the questions. Julia, are you ready for that?
I think yes.
Awesome. So let me take a look at the chat real quick because, well, I was talking. So the question I have here is from Rachel. Can you show me how you'd use UXPressia to show the differences between current and planned or ideal maps?
You mean like as is or to be journeys?
Yes, seems like that.
Well, actually, there are a couple of ways how you can do that. Let me switch to the platform. First of all, you can use views for that, obviously. So you can create a view. You can build it all in one map first, and then just create a view that is going to be like to-be map, to-be map, and leave these sections that are relevant for to-be map, right? And same for future, as for the current version, as is version, so you can have multiple views. Also, if you want to visualize the as is VC2B experience of your persona, you can use this experience lane here. Just a sec. I think my internet connection is a bit unstable. Okay, so you can actually add several lanes, swim lanes within the experience section, and simply just add the second one to visualize several several lanes per persona. One can visualize the as-is experience of your persona, and the lower one, for example, will visualize to-be desirable experience. So yeah, this is actually how you can do that. Does this answer your question?
Let me take a look at the chat. It seems like yes, we got a thank you here. So yes, that's a question. Okay, next question was, I believe that was from Adam. Can you expand on why, when you were showing the slide with 3 cases of nonlinear journeys, this is when the question was asked, can you expand on why the one on the left is actually nonlinear? Looks like the arrow goes up and down, but no step are attempted simultaneously, so seems like it would be linear.
Wait a second.
You can get back to the slide. That was slide 19.
Which one was meant? This
No,
one?
I guess maybe
if you
it
meant
was the slide showing 2 pictures. Yes, this one.
Okay. Yes. So the question is why this one this one is nonlinear?
Just a sec. Yes, actually, why is it nonlinear?
Well, actually, what we mean by that is that here, customer have some freedom from going from here to here, right? So it's not like strictly from A to C. We know the start points and the end points, but the sequence can differ. And that is so why we call it nonlinear. Yeah.
Thank you, Julia. Another question that I noticed here was, how do you include interactions or dependencies in a clear way when multiple personas are involved in one journey?
You mean in the like interactions between personas? Well, actually, we had a whole event dedicated to that, and I hope that Veronica, you have shared the link to this. But actually, yeah, there is a way to show this using a process. I mean, using a persona section. Right here, we have it, and okay, this is not the best map. Let me switch to our multi-persona map. I will unhide these personas for to explain it to you. So yes, let's add this section. Interesting. What's going on? Again, I need to refresh the page. Sorry. Okay, so here in the graphs and charts, we see the persona section. And it allows us to visualize these action flows, the flows of interaction in this case, between different personas. So you can visualize how exactly this interaction is happening using the arrows. You can add some text, like any text, provide more context about what's going on at the specific interaction on the specific stage. You can also add any comments, maybe some quotes or something that clarifies this interaction in text here, and even use channels to visualize which channels your personas are using, for instance, phone or chat, and so on. So chat, just like that. So they will be displayed on the background. So this is how you can manage showing the interactions in the platform.